Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It is September 28th, 2025. Let's check right in and see what storyline Spirit would like to share with us this morning. I hope you all slept well and that this morning has treated you well, or whatever time of day it is that you come to this channel. All right. Collective energy, please, Spirit. Collective energy. What storyline would you like to share with the collective, please? Storyline for the collective, please, Spirit. All right. In the central energy. Ooh, we've got the sun. Shiny, shiny. All is well. In the challenge position, we've got the Hierophant. In the subconscious, we've got the King of Wands. Come on now, hold it together. In the recent past. Well, now come on, don't be so... All right, now let's do it for real. Okay, in the recent past, Eight of Wands. There's a swift change. Something may have been reported or announced on some kind of Wi-Fi, air communications. News travels fast. We've got the Earth Angel or Temperance energy. Harmony. In the near future. Queen of Swords. Resting in her truth. Setting boundaries. The lens that's being let through. Ten of Wands. Completion of a heavy burden. You've been doing a lot, Queen of Swords. She's spilling the beans in the environment. Five of Pentacles. Somebody has lost everything. They're in a state of defeat. So there was the battle in the astral to take the land back. And then just a week or so ago, I heard now the money. So we've in the environment, we've got a Five of Pentacles. The truth being revealed about a heavy burden, that you've been under too much burden. Temperance. Four of Pentacles. So somebody has a need to possess the foundation, or you want a solid foundation. Somebody's expecting scarcity, or you're expecting some sort of stability. Take it as it resonates. In the... Okay, now stop throwing stuff. All right, in the outgoing energy... The Chariot. Forward movement, moving away, courage, victory. You're out of here. You're taking your truth. You're taking your temperance energy, and you're out of here with a rebirth. And that brings a painful ending to somebody. Somebody's experiencing a painful ending because you have been rebirthed, like reclaimed by God here. It looks like the sun is getting a rebirth. God is here bringing about some kind of forgiveness, and understanding, a recognition of what has been going on. And King of Wands is overcoming the challenges. Queen of Wands is telling the truth about something here. We've got a Knight of Swords wanting to defend their beliefs. They've been driven to succeed and working on a routine here. Hard work. Or maybe you're just barreling forward here. Everything's in collapse for those who were moving against you, and you're rushing into a routine working and to gain your freedom and charity, compassion, sharing and caring within the community here. Reunions. You are investigating and researching these masculines, these Knights of Wands, these passionate, intimate encounters for profit. And their devil is in a tower because of what you're finding out. They're trying to renegotiate here, or maybe there are renegotiations about contracts and what is permitted and what isn't, because you have gained a victory for love. And the devil is getting left behind, probably at a crossroads, or maybe they just don't know what to do because you're leaving them behind. Queen of Wands is here in truth and passion. She's determined to live her life, and she doesn't want this devil effing around with it. And she's got King of Wands right here fighting for this Nine of Pentacles wish come true, the fruits of your labor, and the Ten of Pentacles inheritance. So Queen of Wands, King of Wands will be celebrating soon, because they're going to persevere through whatever this is together. Okay? And they're going to be taken off. They're going to be the star, the rejuvenator, the healer, and this passionate overcomer of challenge is, they're going to get in their chariot and they're going to be taken off here. They're going to be leaving the fraud, the trickery, the battle behind. King of Swords is here, whacking him with his stick or with his sword, and Queen of Swords is here like just spitting the truth out, which is really hurting somebody. This could be happening all over the world. This could be a worldwide thing for the love of divine masculine. He's like, hey, you know, I'm a lover, not a destroyer, and he's going to come into his life of luxury by releasing all of this bullpucky that has been tarnishing and trying to destroy his reputation. And that's justice. Justice is that they will have to move on. You're leaving it behind. New contracts have been made, and we're moving forward in that. The discipline of King of Pentacles is getting a new beginning and a new love. And apparently that's the Judgment, bringing a nightmare. The Emperor here is manifesting some sort of a nightmare for folks out here who's trying to mess around with you. Because your boundaries are firm, you are protected, and you're making plans for the future. Future restrictions of those that cause you a need to defend yourself, to protect yourself. They're getting divorced out of your energy, this power of 3 or whatever that is, by your protectress, by your maternal instinct, by your mama bear or whatever that is. You're gonna have divine freaking love and blissful relationships. They're partnerships. It's gonna happen. And you've got excitement and freedom for the love of divine feminine. So the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords, the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands. You're all out here, and somebody's making a proposal to this High Priestess here. Because what? They got disconnected for creating some sort of illusion, some sort of wacky freaking thing here, trying to get her energy to create some sort of fraud and illusion. Well, you're coming into a new career. The world has turned. This is a completion of the cycle, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune here spinning for Divine Mother, Empress. She's going back to some happy kind of state, restoring innocence, restoring purity, restoring those good, happy moments, right? Working with high standards. And There's been a lot of manifested skills developed throughout this process, which are allowing an end to this cycle, bringing an end to this cycle. You've got the passion of King of Wands, Queen of Wands. You've got the truth of Queen of Swords, King of Swords, and you've got, what was the other one? The Pentacles. So you've got control of the foundation, of the finances. This is a completion of your heavy burden and the beginning of somebody else's, because you're out of here. Rebirth, renewed, reclaimed by God. Whatever this was, you know what it seems to me? It seems to me that there was a masculine who said, you know what, because there was like a threat that if you don't do this or give me your energy or whatever it is to manage my burden, I'm going to unalive everybody. And it's like, that's what this curator has been saying. He's threatening God, saying that if God doesn't give him back his powerful feminine energy, which has allowed him to be an authority and a brutalizer in this world, that he's going to sacrifice every chosen one. That is exactly what he has said, the threat that he has made to God. And God already went that route. Last cycle, he said, okay, you know, you're going to go do this. So guess what? Somebody was sacrificed. They say his name is Jesus. They trapped him there to carry their burden, their unnecessary freaking filth in the world, and they piled it on him, and as well as the feminine that they were supposed to protect while this trial, while this test was going on. They were supposed to protect some sweetheart, and rather than do that, they also sacrificed her. So both this masculine and this feminine, who were a gift to the world, sent by God, were sacrificed in order to save the people from genocide. But as we can see, those very same masculines who demanded that kind of thing have been going ahead and proceeding with genocide. It was against the rules. There was an agreement. It was like, if they make it back, then there's going to be a transition, and they did everything to destroy everything so that these two would never, ever, ever be able to rise. And they have. And they have been led back into an ascension by God, rebirthed, and now you've got this devil here who's saying, I don't want to give it back, I don't want to give it back, I don't want this to end. They really thought that they had for eternity trapped these two very powerful entities. And once again, they're saying that if God does not give them back so that they can manage their own devil darkness, because they never learned how to take care of themselves, that they're once again going to destroy everything. And I don't think God's playing that game this time. He's like, you know what? There are limitless numbers of universes out there. Every single one has their own planetary system, galaxy, cosmos, you know, all of this good stuff. And, you know, the people will be allotted to their own space and place. And if they do decide to sacrifice anybody, I don't think that they're going to be able to claim the soul or the spiritual or the life force essence of that. I really feel that God has done some sort of a miraculous, masterful thing to where every intention is being returned. So if these ones are sacrificing anybody with the intention to claim their essence and empower themselves, I really do believe that God will be claiming their essence and empowering himself, herself, itself, ourself, the family, and any essence that they try to snag to empower themselves, God is going to snatch right out of their hands. They won't be able to take it because they're going to get their own specific place in the multiverse. Limitless numbers of universes. So there is a rebirth for the Christed being, that they will not be fed to this shadow demon. You know, God's not going to make a deal with the devil this time. It's over. It's like, you know, there was a deal made last time. Everybody cheated and did the forbidden, trying to maintain their status, and now the deal is off. It's over. There's no more covenant. Those that God has chosen and claimed have been led back into an ascension, and these ones are desperate to get them back, because without that energy, they're in a Five of Pentacles, heavy burden. God's not making any deals. If these little jackwagons want to destroy the land that they have to live in, then, you know, they're going to turn it into a gray, like, place where nothing can grow. You know, and I don't know if we will ever see that. It might just be the results of their work, and that will be their position within the limitless numbers of universes that they inhabit. I don't know. We got date night. So there has been a rebirth, a sunny rebirthing. of this vital force. There's date night. It could be that somebody is getting ready to go on a date. We've got the Hierophant here in the challenge position. That could be the Most High God. It could be somebody of great, okay, we got fire sign. So there could be a Hierophant that is got a high level commitment to a fire sign. They could be a fire sign. We've got the King of Wands here, who is fire. Maybe God is got a commitment. Dang it, I just said it. So maybe there's some sort of agreement between God and this King of Wands. High level commitment. He's here in support of this person. Forgiveness. No. It could be the King of Wands is overcoming some challenges and he's giving somebody a no. Maybe there is a no regarding date night. Now's not the right time. Very quickly, so we've got air with the 8 of Wands. Wait, that's fire. Sorry, fire and Aries. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fire sign. Traveling on the air. So we've got fire in the air, and then we've got water. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Temperance here and divorce. Balance and harmony. Somebody's experiencing a breakup with balance and harmony. Temperance angels are being divorced out of this devil energy. The truth is here. Queen of Swords is offering her testimony, her vision about health, how her health was affected, how health has been affected, how health issues have been affected by this devil energy, what they've been doing with this 10 of Wands here, this 10 of Wands heavy burden, putting extra responsibility on the sun, on the earth angel, on the temperance angel, revealing the truth about that. Luck is on your side. There's a spy here who is going Mercury retrograde. So you've been under a heavy burden, and this is the end of that burden. Yes, luck is on your side. This spy in your life is going back there, or everything is going back. This heavy burden is going back. Whoever's been spying on you and then sending you heavy burdens is going to have to carry that burden now. It's a reversal. And a 5 of Pentacles is their reward. They're going to be defeated by this effort that they have put out, this intention that they have put out for you, being heavily, heavily burdened, and while they have a life of ease. We've got communicate in the reverse. So they've lost everything. Everything has been taken from them. Everything that they intended for you is going back on them. They're in a 5 of Pentacles energy, a defeat, and they are unable to, there's no compromise, there's no forgiveness, and there's no working it out. There's no communication. We've got the 4 of Pentacles here. So there's, and a confession. So in this, on this foundation, this scarce foundation, somebody wants to confess about something. We've got the Chariot here, a victory, forward momentum. You're leaving. Yeah, traveling soon. You're leaving. So you're in your chariot and you're leaving. Everybody is being reallocated. The redistribution of timelines and dimensional systems and planetary systems and universal systems. It's like there's been a lot of universal law that has been broken by forbidden magic and other things. Somebody has lied. They gambled and they lied. And they've lost. There could be an earth sign getting a pet. Narcissist is getting told to move on, get out, move out. There's a change of residence, intimacy, and commitment with someone else. These third parties are having challenges. Because there's a separation happening between those third parties. See, you got a bunch of masculines there, and the loyalty of two together. But there's a separation here in this new cycle, birthed in this new cycle. They're being, you got to use caution. These third parties are being released and let go now, and they're very upset because they feel that you, son, with all this abundant life force in you, they feel you owe them your energy so that they can have a decent life. Somebody's trying to manifest a return. So give it time when it comes to an air sign, because this is a gold digger using a love spell trying to get you back in their good graces, or get them back in your good graces. You be patient, just a few months. This person could be distant, or there's something coming in the distant. Use your intuition. You are connected to your guardian, to your protector, to your team, to source. And somebody wants you to open your heart for a honeymoon. Now you got this stuff here. Look at this. You've got a date night. You've got honeymoon. You've got, somebody is here wanting to, you're changing residence. Somebody wants to change residence, or maybe they're moving forward, trying to get an intimate encounter and a wedding. But these third parties are having challenges with their sexuality in this new cycle. So you have to be wary, because you still got third parties out there trying to get relationship, trying to get marriage contracts, trying to get honeymoons. They're still trying to take part in this new cycle by getting somebody pregnant, because they've been let go and they have to go. They got to get out. They got to get in this chariot and travel. But so use caution, because they're doing love spells to try to manifest themselves in your life. It's a gold digger, and they want to take part of what you've got, your life force, your stuff, your love. And they use love spells, but there's no love in it. It's all jerking off and freaking trying to attach themselves in some special way to your sacral chakra, and get you to feel all warm and fuzzy about an unseen, unknown love, and soften up toward it should somebody come in. But this is just nasty. This is manipulation. This is not care. This is not respect of one's sacred essence. Absolutely not. Somebody's doing a love spell, touching you all over in your womanhood or your manhood, and you don't even know who they are, but they want you to soften up to them. This is nasty. This is them, somebody you don't know, touching your womanhood or your manhood with a love spell, this lust spell, whatever that is, hoping that they'll be able to get into your life. This is kind of nasty. This is a violator, an unseen molester, hoping that they can actually come in and molest you in the physical. You and your heart and your new beginning is protected by your guardian, but be aware that you got a lot of nastiness out here, because you are the sun and you are getting ready to get wined and dined, and the devil knows this. You got to be real careful. You got third-party enemies out there walking exact edge definition, trying to act like they're just this upright citizen who's all about loyalty and the power of two, and that isn't the case at all. They're good actors and actresses, very good. But their history proves that they're unstable and that they are very much uncommitted to loyalty and fidelity and building anything with the pure intention. So the sun is here, got a rebirth, all is well. And we got date night, and driver. So there's a date night with a driver. There's a driver who wants to date you. We got the Hierophant here and a fire sign. Somebody's challenged by this fire sign. There's a driver who wants to date you. Some third party manipulator, handler out there targeting you. But it looks like God has got you covered, fire sign. We've got addicted. Somebody's addicted to you. This driver is addicted to your energy, addicted to your life. They want to get into your world and they want to handle you and your output and your view of the world. They want to get in and they want to bring in their addictions and drive you into an addictive South Node pattern, right? But we've got a King of Wands here who is saying no. King of Wands knows about this driver. It could be some handler, a masculine handler, a feminine handler. Take it as it resonates. It's energy. But there is a masculine on this card. Date night with the driver, fire sign. They want to bring this fire sign into some form of addiction. Maybe they are addicted to this fire sign. The King of Wands is here saying no. They're not going to go on a date with this driver. They got a rebirth. They got this beautiful vital force and they just got it back. And they're being targeted. Look, no labor, no labor. So he's not even going to entertain this. He's not even going to work with them. He's not going to work with them. He's not doing anything. So yeah, date night. Date night is a meeting night. You want to go get together, have drinks, discuss business. You know, somebody wants to get this King of Wands into an addictive pattern, or they are addicted to the energy of this King of Wands and the manifestation of this King of Wands, because he's got this passionate energy that actually produces. Right? So we got very swiftly, something is manifesting for a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Could be related to an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Something going on. We've got optimism. You may be optimistic. We've got the Temperance energy here and divorce. We've got important in the reverse. So Temperance is divorcing those that are not important. Those, see, needless feeders, they come in, they feed on the sun and the star, and then they put them in a South Node heartbreak or whatever, and then they run around like they're an important person because they're dressed up in the happy energy, right? So Temperance is divorcing the unimportant, the needless feeder who wants to run around and squash you and make you look like you're a ridiculous entity that cannot handle your household. Why? Because they're taking all of your paycheck. They're making it impossible for you to afford rent or food, and the food is toxic. So your energy production and your flesh temple isn't up to par because they're poisoning you, so that you won't seem important and powerful and light-filled and hopeful and happy. Queen of Swords is revealing the truth about how health has been puppeted, right? Driven into addictions. She's telling the truth. So you get the date night here, and then they say, hey, you know, let's go have a drink, or hey, let's do this, or hey, let's smoke this, or hey, you know, and they drive people into this addictive state, and then they accuse them of being irresponsible and incapable of managing themselves in a good way. So you've got 10 of Wands heavy burden. They've been laying it on you, setting you up for failure, and then laying it on you, saying you deserved it. But luck is on your side, and this spy, this freaking spy of the mind, who goes in and finds these vibrant people and then comes in and gets them addicted to something, chaos, drugs, alcohol, whatever. It's all being returned to them. This heavy burden that they've had you under, it's all going back on them. This hardship, the hardship, Mercury retrograde, hardship, that 10 of Wands burden, it's going back on your abusers, on this driver who has driven you into failure. They set you up for failure and they drove you into it. That was their labor. That was their job. But you've got the King of Wands here in a sunny rebirth, celebratory energy. His vital force is amped, and he is not working with this driver. It's not working on him. Whatever this driver's trying to do, it's not working. They're not getting a date with this sun, with this King of Wands. They're addicted to his energy. But all of the hardship that they're magically trying to manifest off this guy, it's all going back on them. They're in a Five of Pentacles defeat. There's no communication. They cannot tap this energy because they are innocent. Because they're innocent. They're not out here being vile, being, trying to manipulate people, trying to go out and, get multiple people pregnant. They're not out there being a jerk, lying on everything. They're innocent. So we've got solid foundations, or somebody's experiencing scarcity because they can't communicate with you anymore. They've been cut out of your fire energy, your creator energy, your passion energy. This driver and their addictions aren't able to stick to you because you're too high vibing. The Most High has filled you with this sun, recognized you as that. Somebody wants to confess something. There's a change in location. So there's a moving, there's a change in location, there's a reallocation of things. I have heard this devil say to somebody that there was blood on their hands. Now, what they're saying is they're going to destroy a whole lot of people, and they're going to blame God. They're going to blame the feminine. They're going to blame this King of Wands because they're not kowtowing. They're not saying, I will give my life so that you won't hurt anybody. That's not the way that it's going anymore. Everybody has to carry their own cross. He already served his time. He did this last cycle. He gave of himself. God raised him back up. And he said, from now on, everybody's going to be responsible for carrying their own cross. But you've got this devil energy who has profited a lot by putting their karmic debt and their burden and their sin onto this sun energy and forcing them to transmute it, to carry the burden. But God's like, that's not the way it's going to go anymore. We've got a change in location. There's a foundation here. It's solid. Some people are getting a solid wealth security, and some people are getting scarcity. And there's a confession here. Somebody wants to confess. There's a change in the location. And then in the outgoing energy, we've got chariot and vacation. You will be traveling soon. Defense. You are defended. There is somebody traveling. There may be a defense on its way to you. Maybe your chariot is coming to pick you up and offer you some kind of protection. Because you're wholesome. Because you're wholesome. So the wholesome ones are getting protected. And here and now, we've got this witch who is going into the grave. So this is the blood that this devil is saying is on your hands. Because you refuse to sacrifice yourself. You're feeling that your life is worth saving too. And this time around, you're not just going to give it up. You're saying, I did that last time and it didn't work out. You guys were really rude and you broke a lot of rules. And, you cheated really bad. And you hurt a lot of people unfairly. And so now God's like, I'm claiming my King of Wands. I'm claiming my sun, my star. I'm claiming my wholesome people, my innocent, pure people that you have buried under unnecessary hardship. And now, there is a grave waiting for this witch. Here and now. We've got creativity and entertainment. So actors and actresses who have been out here getting creative, trying to manipulate your identity, your personality. Yeah, this witch is going down. They're going to be made absent. So there's an absence of self-preservation. Or you were able to preserve yourself regardless of the absence of a masculine presence, somebody to protect your foundation, somebody to keep the bad guys away from hurting you. They became the bad guys, and you were able to preserve yourself anyway from this wise guy, from this freaking wise guy. And now you're being congratulated for handling the backstory, the history of this. You have earned a lot of objectivity. You see both sides very clearly. You've got your home here. Your home is shining Once more, you've got everybody's got their lights on. They have came back online. God has risen them up into this ascension of light energy, you know. And it's like conscientiousness. It's like we're sweeping it out. We've got religion. It's like religion is undergoing some form of a cleanup. We've got as is. So you are who are as you say you are, who is really you. The real you is being you. You are expected to take this seat, to share your story, to be who you are meant to be. And this tribe of players who's been manipulating you, dominating you, putting you under 10 of Wands burden, hardship, unnecessary 5 of Pentacles burdens, unstable foundations. You're this innocent childlike person, and they've been playing with you so that they could appear important. And look at them now, they're just a chicken. Now they're just a chicken. We've got teacher of academics. This is forbidden knowledge that this ancestry had put upon you, your past, centuries ago. Very narrow-minded, limited perception, greedy, needy, vain people who felt that they were powerful because they could manipulate the minds of others. That made them powerful in their mind. I can make you do what I want you to do, therefore I'm powerful, and you gotta F off, right? And all that really shows is that they have no morals, they have no ethics, they've got cruelty in their heart, and they want to squash people and laugh while they destroy their own personal soul song and sense of happiness. It's ridiculous. You survived. Why? Because you remembered how to take care of yourself, and you may not have known anything. These people may have buried you in the shadows, in the freaking density of a forest somewhere, all by yourself with dogs to talk to. But somehow your soul remembered to take care of you, and you survived this atrocity that these limited perception bohemians who are not willing to settle down and be responsible about anything, these vain people put upon you with this conflict, duking it out. Sweet, innocent, beautiful, wholesome one. You've got this devil coming up and beating the shit out of you. And you didn't do a damn thing except shine your light. Bring peace. They were bringing drama to your peaceful state, and you handled it perfectly. You're getting the message. You did not take shortcuts. You did not cheat. You allowed your soul and the connections that you had to source lead you, even though you may not have been consciously aware of what was going on. These kin have been in your purpose, and they've been misguiding and misleading people. And it was prophesied that there would be a visitation to these actors by a sovereign being. And these explorers will be disconnected from the spiritual throne. And that is a promise. Attention has been brought to their martyring people, their intentional unaliving of people, stealing the wealth, stealing the happiness, and committing to suffering and death. They worship death. Attention has been brought to this. The Queen of Swords is out here, then martyring sun-filled people, and then puppeting them and driving them into failure and sorrow and suffering, leaving them invisible, stealing the bodies of true leaders, agent smithing them. So you are a being of love. Those beings of love did nothing to this snake. You didn't do anything to this snake except try to love them. But it's like the more you loved them, the more they hated you and the more shit they kept piling on you. Why? Because you are an arcana. You are a giant. You are a loving being who is here to guide evermore's eternal love. And this devil wanted to stop you, wholesome person, filled with the light of the sun, They wanted to destroy your happiness and your love and the innocence and purity that is coming forth from these light-bearing unions. It's crazy, but it's time for it to happen anyway. Your compass, your pathway has been observed. Everything that has happened to you has been seen. Justice is being brought to this circumstance regarding privileged people who have been working with the Ouija board to curse you. You've got forgiveness here because they were horse playing around with you, trying to steal your things, competing with you for stuff when you're just here to serve people. And that's why you have the stuff. God gave you the stuff so that you can serve people with the stuff. And you've got people here trying to steal it from you. When your service is to give it away and make sure that everybody has enough. You've got competitors out here who want to dominate you, pretend to be you, and then allocate your wealth that God gave you for a specific purpose of service. They want to wield it, and they want to say who gets what and who gets who. They have tried to rest in the shoes of your purpose, and they have shown themselves to be a complete and utter failure because they weren't made for this job. You were, and that's why God gave you what your wealth, what you needed, your abundance of light and healing, your ability to rejuvenate, to restore, to heal. That's you. You got a bunch of envious, greedy people out there. They don't want your gift. They want your life. They don't want to receive generosity and charity from you. They want to take it from you and control it and be the one who says who gets what. Even though God didn't choose them for that role because they're so irresponsible and cruel. So there is a rebirth. There's a rebirth here regarding date night. Okay, there's a it's been revitalized. Date night is receiving a revitalization. There's no forgiveness for the driver. Those drivers who would get in and date the star or the sun and then drive them into failure. There's no forgiveness. No. There's a rebirth for date night. The driver is not forgiven. The Hierophant is here with a high level commitment to the fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, regarding this addiction that this driver has to you. There's no forgiveness. They're challenged because the God can see that they're addicted to your energy, and you're getting an escape. God has lifted you up, led you back into an ascension because this driver, this devil, is addicted to your energy, and they're not being forgiven. They've been feeding on you while putting you under this 10 of Wands hardship, spying on your life, claiming your intellectual property, your thoughts, your happiness. There's a King of Wands here, and he's saying no to the labor. He's not going to work with this driver. He's not going to fold under the efforts of this driver. There's no working with. There's no having date night. There's no nothing. There's a whole new rebirth regarding date night. So we got the Eight of Wands very fast. Something's happening very fast for a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We've got optimism and we've got tempted. So somebody was optimistic about a temptation. A water sign was optimistic about a temptation so now we've got temperance energy and divorce. They're getting divorced from this earth angel or whatever because we've got important in the reverse. So they're not important. They're losing their status of importance. They're getting divorced from this, from the energy of the earth angel, this puppeteer, this driver, this molester, this devil who brings nothing but hardship and burden to wholesome, happy people, innocent, wholesome, happy people. They need an exit plan. Queen of Swords is here talking about the health and the manipulation of it. We've got an exit plan. Someone wants out. We all want out. We all want to separate from this devil this needless feeder who's so freaking lazy. They can't create anything wholesome or good in their life. All they can do is destroy those and that which is. So your heavy burden has been seen. Luck is on your side. It's a completion of that bullpucky. This spy who has been spying on you, it's all Mercury retrograde. The spy has to go back and deal with the same hardship that they put you through. And it's going to be crazy because it's probably going to come back amplified. And you know how difficult it was to survive your own challenges. We've got adrift. So they're going to be set adrift. There's not going to be any foundational structure. There's not going to be anybody there to help them. There's not going to be any coin to support them. They're not going to have a house. There's not going to be anybody to communicate with. They will not be able to communicate with anybody who is innocent. They got to stay right the hell out of that energy because of what they did. Their needs are not going to be met. They will not be communicating with the innocent in order to get their needs met. They cannot siphon off of innocent people and take from them that which they have not earned. See, they have earned a 5 of Pentacles, and they want to go ahead and get date night with somebody who has earned a 10 of Pentacles. And then they want to throw that innocent person into sorrow and strip the happiness out of them and then walk away with the 10 of Pentacles. So they've been defeated. There's no more communicating with the innocent in order to get their stupid needs met. Greedy, selfish, brutalizing bastards. They're experiencing some scarcity now, and they want to confess because the location has been changed. Their way where they're going to live has been changed. There's a change in their location because they're an empty vessel. They have nothing to offer. The only thing that they ever bring with them is a freaking mouth and an endless gluttony. An endless desire to feed on whatever it is that you're producing with your life. You're in your chariot and you will be traveling soon. Wholesome people have got a defense. You are being defended. God is like, you're emotionally exhausted from dealing with this bullpucky and you deserve a break. You deserve a break, wholesome person. You're getting your defense. These devil people have lost and their life is in pieces. Of course they want to blame you because you didn't lay down and say, I'm going to go ahead and let you take my power, my light, my energy. Now God said you will not be giving it back. You will never be giving it back because your light, your internal power, your sun energy is given to you because you have a responsible heart and you are a member of God's family. These others don't have that. They're an empty vessel. They have an empty cup. They're brutalizing, bastard, puppeteer. They don't produce anything. They drive people into failure and then take the reward that God gave them. This is not a competition. This is outright abuse from a terrorist who has infiltrated the territory of God. They told secrets. They lied. They got to keep their distance from you. They're going to have a long road before they find what they want. Everything that they have built on your light and your suffering is crumbling. This was just another notch on the headboard. Playing games with love. They effed their way to the top on other people's energy of suffering and betrayal and heartbreak. They tangled up in a web many, many flames by being F-boys and F-girls. And that's over. There's a rebirth for date night. These drivers will not be forgiven for what they have done to the intimate, sacred union of this energetic exchange. Things are going to be really, really rough for them because they made it rough for you. You're leaving. And that means that everything is in ruins for them. That's falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. They're reaching out for you, trying to connect to your love, and it's eluding them. They made life for you hard, a struggle, and you're the diamond. You were the wealth. And they made life extremely difficult for you while they harvested off of you during a lifetime of suffering and sickness from these childish man boys and man women or whatever they are, girl women, immature, right? So now they're crushed and they got to face the truth of it. They're grieving about this getting burned. They burned you. Now they're getting burned. They're guilty of burning you. And now they're drowning under this crap of broken promises and leaving people alone in the dark side, in the suffering. They have to go. They owe a debt to love. They owe a debt to purity. They owe a debt to the innocent, wholesome people. They got caught up in a whirlwind of neglect, and now they're having anxiety because God's here fierce about it. And this bullshit with the sticking people in that rabbit hole is ending. Now, what did I do? I went ahead and didn't pull any cards for this. Now, why didn't I do that? Come up here. King of Wands is saying no to labor. He's not working on them. The labor that they're doing is not working on them. This whatever driving through addictions, it's not working on them. They're going under. The King of Wands won't work with this driver, won't work with this puppet master, and so they're failing. And then up there, we had the water sign who was expecting quick results optimistically regarding this temptation with this snake. And now they're getting divorced from the earth angel, the temperance angel, because they're not important. Yeah, they're not seen as important. This is ending for them. They're no longer going to be connected to this earth angel. They committed themselves to the snake. They committed themselves to the dark side. They committed themselves to torturing and trying to destroy the light in loving people. There's no forgiveness for that. They did not appreciate the beauty that you brought to this world. They wanted to destroy you and everything that you are. There's no forgiveness for this. They cannot come in with a date night. They cannot come in and communicate with your innocence in order to get their needs met. It's no longer permitted. The Hierophant is here watching very carefully a fire sign. They could be a fire sign. They're watching these people who are addicted to this fire sign's energy, who are addicted to using the love of this fire sign as an escape. They neglected them to escape neglect. They poured neglect onto passionate, loving people. It's like whatever entity they have pledged allegiance to, this shadow demon, it's like in order to have a decent life, they had to feed it beautiful people. That's why they think, human sacrifice is necessary according to some religious cultures in order to make life worth living. See, they feel if they don't feed powerful light beings to this shadow demon, that the world will cease to be, that somebody, this shadow demon, will destroy the world. So they cater to this shadow demon's needs, and this shadow demon needs to eat sun-filled beings. Children of the Most High Mother, Father, God. Daydreaming. Somebody's going under. They're longing for you. You're refusing to work with them. The answer is no. You know that they don't appreciate you. They just want to tap into your love and then drag you into some sort of addiction, or maybe they're addicted to your love. They're addicted to you giving them a freaking solution, because you are the problem solver. You are the one who overcomes these challenges, and they're addicted to you making things okay for them. They were optimistic about this temptation with the snake. They thought all they had to do was destroy you and they could have a decent life. They could keep you trapped forever and then siphon the wealth out of you forever. They were very optimistic about it, and now they're getting divorced out of your energy. You got this temperance energy. You are the passionate fire. You are the flame that doesn't destroy. It brings peace. Now they're divorced out of your energy because they're not important. They're a needless feeder, and they destroy rather than build. And so it's ending. It's ending. They're not necessary. They're getting detached. Their presence isn't necessary. They dismantled rather than constructed. The community doesn't need that kind of presence. The community needs to be built up, not tore down. You know, you got people trying to build the community up, and then you got these other vampires out there tearing it down, sometimes faster than you can build it up, and it's ridiculous. You know? Queen of Swords is out here telling the truth about how health has been puppeted by people looking for an exit plan. We've got hope. Somebody has hope for an exit plan. Somebody's been puppeting people. They've been driving them into failure and then taking their wealth, telling God that they weren't capable of managing the wealth that he gave them because they were being driven into failure, mentally driven into this distraught, depression or whatever. This stuff has been driven into their minds. Driven. They run a soap opera of, pain, a soap opera of this destruction into people's minds, and they run it 24/7, and they make it run through the mind 24/7, and before you know it, in your head, all you got is this destruction, and you want to go out and fix it somehow, but you just can't because it won't ever stop. And unfortunately, you got people in power who have the ability to support that illusion, that the soap opera with outer catastrophe. They drive other people into actually committing a 3D crime. With this rhetoric, they drive through the mind, driving them into failure, driving them into doing some catastrophe that gets all of the populace high-strung on a need for vengeance, or a need for tightening down the bolts, or a need for giving up more freedoms because some lunatic out there can't control their mind. And they're not a lunatic, they're a puppet being driven into failure, so that these a-holes can look at God and say, see, this person can't do what? And it's like, yeah, but what have you been doing with your technology and your forbidden magic, your transference of sin and karmic debt onto innocent, wholesome people who did not deserve to process that kind of crap, because that wasn't the reward that God meant for them. It was the burden they were forced to carry by these stupid contracts with people that had ulterior motives, and they never, ever, ever were truthful and honest. Oh yeah, I love you because you're so bright and you can carry my bullshit for me. No, they piled it onto the children that they unalived and sacrificed into the dark side for suffering lives. And then they spin a freaking story about their inability when they were never given a chance. Their lives were stolen right away. And you know what makes me sick is that they take the blood of this sacrifice, these innocent ones, and they put it in their food and eat it, and then pretend that they are the innocent one. They ingest it and then consider themselves pure after doing so. It's so sickening. Absolutely illegal. I think it should absolutely be illegal. These transference of sin magic things, and this consuming the blood of innocence and then calling yourself that innocence, that's wrong. That happened to a lot of ones. They did that, and then they ingested the fluids, and then they took on the persona, the whatever it was that's born in the blood of the sun. God's here and he knows what's going on. We've got unfinished business. These ones who brought hardship to you, it's all going back on them. They will not be settling down. They didn't want to settle down. They won't ever settle down. They're getting a 5 of Pentacles, and their days of communicating with the innocent in order to get their needs met is over. They're in regret. They wish they could right their wrongs, but it's too damn late. Centuries they've been doing this. This is their habitual pattern. And centuries, they were so cruel. There was one woman said, "You'll pay for this." And I'm like, how many centuries have I been paying for your hatred of me? I don't even know who these invisible people are, but they're saying and swearing that I'm going to pay for this. It's like, who are you? Why would I pay for your hatred? I don't even know who you are. It's so freaking crazy. These are lunatics, man. They're lunatics, and they're in scarcity. They want to confess because there's a change of location. They're moving. They're getting out of here. They're an empty vessel. Their cup is empty, and it's going to remain empty because you have an understanding of what they're doing. You know what they're doing. You're in your chariot. You got a victory here. You're moving forward. You're out of here, and you got vacation. You will be traveling soon. The wholesome people are being defended or defending themselves. You're tired from this. You deserve a break. This is bullshit. You've been being fed on for centuries, and now they got to give you space. They got to get out of your space. You deserve your own energy. This is your life force, and you've got a freaking spider out there who's been tapping in, dissolving, and then sucking the life out of you. And you may have felt it as a little prick, a little tenderness, a little, yeah, it's not good. They do that to your spiritual self. You know, as you're awake and you're running around in your 3D body, you got these unseen vampiric ghosts or whatever out there sticking you with stuff, you know, and they get off when it's effective. They're very confused about this reciprocity. Everything they've done to you is coming back to them, and they're like, oh crap, because they're not you. They're not the sun. They can't transmute this the way that you could. But now everything that they decided to become, projecting it onto you so that it seemed like you, is now seen. That was a projection. Now all of that projection is going back onto the one who projected it onto you. So the movie creator has to claim their part in the movie and then go live it. I guess they have to take on the role that they forced you to be in. You didn't know you were an actor and actress. You didn't know that they were just puppeting you. They're really feeling your absence because you're gone. We've got unsatisfied. You're gone. There's this shadow side is in disagreement about this missed opportunity. There's gossip about how the guilty one who hurt you so bad and leveled you out so many times wants to fix this connection. But you've got a soul tie that has been has received a reunion. Queen of Swords, King of Swords, King of Wands, Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. You're all here coming together under the guidance of this Hierophant, the Most High. The reflections of you, the copycats and whatnot that were trying to be you, are overwhelmed and stressed out. Somebody wants to talk about this because they're hurting right now from this return. And you know, it's an unexpected outcome here. These habitual patterns, this passion project, this nastiness that they've been pouring onto you, it's a surprise. They made mistakes. It was a mistake. They've been found unworthy. All of these projections that they have put out onto the sun and the stars is coming back onto them. It's like everybody's work, every ounce of work, every seed you sowed is coming back to you. They've got a lot of secrets that they made while chasing after your dreams. And now it's too late for these jokesters to do anything about it. They're reminiscing, oh my gosh, it was so fun. And now they can't do anything about it because it's time for responsible families. And they're broken and shattered about all the lies they told from this prideful position. They don't know what to do, because the new chapter is here for those who love themselves. The way that they love is seen as irreplaceable. It's like they may have been alone, and they may have had the weight of the world on them, literally this magical, forbidden magic and technological burden that they have been carrying around while alone. The love that they have manifested, the energy that they have manifested within their own temple, have proven that they can carry this load. And so that power, that light is coming, and that love is coming together in responsible family units. And this new chapter, the way you love cannot be matched. You're gonna go meet somebody who actually loves as great as you do. And this passion project, these F boys and F girls, they really sabotage themselves because they did not get aboard the love train. They didn't want to be on the love train. And they can't separate those who did want to be on the love train from the love train. They're getting a big old soul contract here and a commitment in this new chapter, this new destiny. They have escaped these third-party hoe bags who have projected all of their sin, all of their karmic debt, all of their gross stuff onto them, because the truth has been revealed. This Queen of Swords has survived, and she's out there giving firsthand testimony, Akashic record ledgers, handing them it all over. And now these ones want to run because they're being held back. They're being held back. And now they want forgiveness. And it's like, there's no forgiveness. There's no forgiveness because they did not appreciate the beauty that you added to their life. Instead of appreciating the beauty that you added to their life, they hated you for it, and they tried to hurt you in return. And they did. They were very, very good at it. And the closer that we got to this 10 of Wands burden, like the better that they got at it, right? We're here at the end of the cycle, this huge cycle, and they are maxed out on their bad behavior. But God sees everything. They were driving you into failure. It was false, consistently false. They were driving the minds and the energy and the emotional body of people into failure. They would, cause an accident, which caused a great injury, which caused great pain on a daily basis, or somebody would lose their family. I mean, they would do this intentionally to crush the soul of somebody. Accidents aren't merely accidents. And people who are leading you are not always looking after your best interest. And it saddens me when I hear somebody say they're their best friend. They're either involved in the deceit or they're blind as all get up. They don't know anything about egregores. They don't know anything about manipulation. They don't know anything about themselves, because they can't tell when the enemy is messing with them. This enemy who had no appreciation for the beauty. This enemy who is not getting forgiveness but from God. There's a new rebirth for date night. There's a whole new rebirth. This driver is not getting forgiven. Absolutely not. God is looking out for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and the addictive things. So you may be protected from those who are addicted to your energy. They neglected you. They were using love as an emotional escape, or perhaps you have escaped this neglect. We've got room in the reverse. So room in the reverse, the room to me is the mind. It's the mind. It's the place where the midnight hour, conversationalists go to have their communications, to plan their next move. So you've got the King of Wands here who's saying, no, now's not the right time. I'm not dealing with you, enemy. We've got labor here. I know the work you did trying to be me, and now you're going under. And you're just asking for help. You're no longer supported by this King of Wands energy. And we've got cheerfulness in the reverse. They're going under. They're not happy. This King of Wands is saying, no, I'm not going to help you anymore, driver, enemy mine. There's no forgiveness here. He knows the work that you did against him, how you manipulated his energy, how you tried to set him up for failure, for money. So there's some swift action here. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. optimism, tempted by the snake. They were so happy about this. They were going to get a whole bunch of money. And now there's the pride. It's kind of in the toilet now. Their pride is kind of in the toilet because they're getting divorced out of this temperance angel's energy. They're no longer going to be in that energy because they're not important. They were brutalizer. They tried to tear it down. They tried to make the temperance angel insignificant and be seen as unworthy, covered in shit. They covered this temperance angel who is making their life beautiful. This innocent, wholesome person who's got a powerful light force, they covered them in shit and then said they were shit. So now they're getting detached. This foe is in a mental prison. They can't get out of their thoughts. They're getting detached. This is ending. They cannot continue to do this. The Queen of Swords is here telling the whole story about how this puppet master or these puppet masters, these handlers or whatever, were affecting people's health. There's an exit plan here. Someone wants out. They have hope. Those who have not given up hope for love have an exit plan. This puppet master is like out of there. They're out of there. They're exposed for leaving a 10 of Wands burden onto the innocent child, the wholesome people who have a bright light. Yes, the spy is going to be receiving Mercury retrograde of hardship. They were not willing to settle down and be responsible. And now it's time to commit. They have unfinished business. They got to go deal with all of the hardship. They got to be committed to dealing with this hardship that they forced you to manage. There's a journey here. They're going to have a journey of hardship, a journey of instability, a journey of 5 of Pentacles where they are not allowed to communicate with the innocent in order to get their needs met. They're in regret. They're in regret about this gift. They're in regret about trying to come after your gift. They got a 4 of Pentacles, scarcity. Somebody may wants to confess. There's a change in location for these empty vessels because you have an understanding of what they've been doing. They're a soldier. These are empty vessels who have been fighting you for your light, for your goodness, for the wealth that God bestowed upon you, your actual life, man. The energy that your temple produces, they don't see you as any more than a freaking energetic food source. And what God gave you, the abundance that God gave you to support that life in you as you be in the world and create in the world is what these ones have been taking, and they've been trading you with driven suffering and failure, with the stupid soap opera that they've been forcing through the transmitter receiver of your mind. The divine communication device. So you've got the Chariot here, victory, traveling soon. Those who are wholesome are defended, or who are defending themselves are given a defense by God. You are tired, emotionally exhausted, and you deserve a break from this. These people need to stay out of your space. We've got merchant. The merchant needs to stay out of your space. They cannot buy or sell your energy. You're tired. They took it. And now God sees it. And he's like, you know what? All this hardship that you made, this beautiful, bright, shining star. This sun. A magnificent sun full of love energy is exhausted because of you. Vampire. And they deserve love because they're innocent. They're an innocent person that you tortured. And you laughed at their suffering. So now, they need consolation. There's somebody went to the doctor. They're going to be a widower. Somebody's not doing well. You're getting a reunion because you are seen as faithful. Faithful to love. Faithful to the idea of pairing faithfully. you know, loyally, dedicated to family. There could be a servant waiting on a fortune wife. They may think that they're going to be a wife. They have hope that you're going to get sick and that they'll be able to surprise everybody at this wedding. This is a pleasure seeker that is in melancholy because you've gained your wings and fortune, your money. This priest is offering some kind of a service consistently, which is false. Sending out messages from an old woman, a friend, regarding thoughts, scholarly thoughts. They're in misfortune. Their house might have burned down, and they're in despair over the happiness of this young woman, this sweetheart that they had tried to steal. This thief is sighing because there's death here. The conversation that is going on in the house of the Lord and the information that is coming out, the letters, the documentation. It's got somebody real messed up in the head. It's death. Well, this has been going on for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. I hope that it brings clarity to something that you already intuitively knew, and I will see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.